State Senator Kay Floyd held an interim study this week on the financial and economic development costs of unconstitutional laws. In recent years, the legislature has approved an estimated 30 laws that were challenged in courts and thrown out as unconstitutional. There were many more that were introduced but never won approval. While putting dollar figures on the costs was difficult, the senators got an earful about the impact of bringing new businesses and people to the state.
What we do and how we do it is critical. Over a number of years, as I understand it, there have been bills on controversial issues, some that are clearly unconstitutional right from the beginning. They get filed. Often people take comfort that, well, they didn't make it out of committee, or they didn't pass through the floor, or they didn't become law, but by then the damage often is already done. International media might write that we are a failed state, and in fact, a newspaper in the UK did just that. We get laughed at on late night television. Well, we might not care, but someone who might have Oklahoma potential in their future might hear that and mark us off their list. It's difficult to put a dollar figure on what we've lost, partly because we likely never hear from many companies that should be calling us. That's our biggest challenge, is not being considered at all. If we're not in consideration, we can't win. And importantly, this isn't just for working on attracting new companies to Oklahoma. It's just as pertinent to companies who may have been here since the land run or been here since the beginning. They can leave just as easily as someone can come here.
Inclusiveness is becoming such a critical aspect to economic development, really for a couple of reasons. One, companies know that states that are inclusive and have reputations nationally for being able to attract and retain workers really do have an advantage on states that do not have that reputation. They know that workforce, and particularly a young, talented workforce, is the #1 commodity right now for companies seeking to grow jobs. It's the #1 thing we hear more than taxes, more than any other issue. It's how are we going to have the skilled workers to grow? And companies are slowly and very surely realizing that diversity and inclusion is a key issue to helping them achieve that goal. We are regularly asked if there's pending legislation or laws on the books designed to target or discriminate against one particular group of people or another. It is a significant concern for those hundreds of millions of dollars that we're going after for the tourism events. Economic development really has changed in paradigm. There's a new paradigm now than there was in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Really, when you're looking at millennials, they are the #1 most diverse generation in lifestyle and race and demographic of any generation before it. And the competition really is for that young talent. We're competing with Austin, we're competing with Portland, we're competing with these cities and these regions that are perceived as hip and cool and inclusive and diverse. If we shoot ourselves in the foot with any kind of public perception issues that we are not those things, we are really hindering the ability of my organization and the Oklahoma City Chamber and other economic development groups to bring those companies in, because they know they need that young talent.
Attorney General Mike Hunter told the senators that part of the job of his office is to assist lawmakers in the drafting of legislation that would allow for an early review of a proposal's constitutionality. But lawmakers have to ask for that assistance to get it.